Welcome to 100% Footy. What a round it was. Of course, the headline act, the miracle in Mudgee. Nathan Cleary's going to swing by to relive that epic festival of rugby league. Scuttlebutt Central, it's getting promoted tonight. Desi's gone. Who'll replace him? And Brandon Smith. We've got some breaking news on what's unfolded today with Queensland Police. Ben Hunt one-on-one after game number 350. And yes, they're back. 100% dribble with the Hello Sport boys. Let's do this.
16 all, Cleary in position, this time off the coast, my goodness, Canberra come back with the ball, and Strange, he is away from the Raiders, supported Weeks, that is the most remarkable rugby league moment.
Melbourne shifting, Coates is glued to his wing, that is top draw, might have scored the try!
You've got to re-grip it, you can't just do it.
Wow, so close.
Only Jerry Evans, 350.
Ben Hunt, 350 games.
Here is Jerry Evans putting in a kick. It will sit up for him! Genius from Daly, Jerry Evans. Here is Hunt. Walsh wrapping around the back off the right foot. One trap down, the superstar.
Here we go.
Hang on, Munro. He goes, he's absolutely burned him, all ends up!
Oh, that's so good. Got beyond it, two of us to check.
Milazzo with the flick, stop the fight.
Seriously.
What a pass! Guyver, guys, he scored! Oh, tell you what, Semran, he has!
What about the energy in this joint? They call it the eighth wonder of the world, and it is delivering today, Leichhardt Oval.
JT, where's your spirit?
And look at the counter-attack. Flick pass. We're back to 2005. Bullard! Oh, the try is amazing. Oh, this is incredible. 16 points in about 6 minutes. North Queensland win this game, 34-28.
Oh, mind-blown emojis wherever you look from that round of footy. So many great moments, and we'll be dissecting them very soon. And, of course, some big drama off the field across the game of rugby league today. More on that shortly. Paul Gallen, good evening.
Hey, Brace.
Cameron Smith, nice to see you. Alana Ferguson.
Hello, Brace.
For the ride into finals. Nice to have you aboard alongside the top dog.
James, how you doing?
Very good, Gus. Lots to get through. We'll get to all that drama shortly. But, of course, we want to revel in the footy that we saw over the weekend. So why not start with the ladder? Yes, we love to have a look at what unfolded over the weekend and where to now for the teams in the race for the 8. The Raiders, well, they are now one win away from potentially securing that spot in number 1 position. Storm, well, they'll finish in the top 2. The Dogs, back-to-back losses has them in 3rd. 4th place, the Warriors. In their sights, though, the Brisbane Broncos knocking on the door of the 4. The Sharks are sitting there in 6. Penrith losing a bit of momentum. The Roosters' loss keeps their fans on their tippy toes at the moment, with the Dolphins and Seagulls still in with a chance. But, of course, the highlight of the weekend, that miracle in Mudgee.
Golden Point is underway.
All they need to do is keep bringing the ball forward.
They'll get it closer this time. Cleary in position.
Ball goes back to Cleary. He's standing a million miles back.
Special delivery, Nathan Cleary. Off the upright.
My goodness!
Is Jet Stewart. He offloads to Ethan Strange. Strange is past 1. He's past 2. He's past 3. He brushes off Edwards.
Beats Edwards. He's over the halfway.
And Strange! He is away from the Raiders!
He goes over the 40. He goes over the 30. He's over the 20.
Back in field to
The Raiders score. They won it. 100 metre try.
That is the most remarkable rugby league moment!
Oh, what a game!
They beat the 4-time champions, and an awful lot of people could go and order a massive serving of humble pie.
It will forever be remembered as the miracle in Mudgee.
Oh, crazy scenes in Mudgee and right around the country as well. And there you go, the big 4 from the weekend that was some key moments. And we've got a lot to dissect as we look towards finals. Footy now just 2 rounds away. Ethan Strange, much to discuss about him too in just a minute. But, well, Gus, that is quite remarkable to think about what we witnessed in that match in Canberra, just showing each week why they are top of the ladder.
Yeah, absolutely. The Canberra Raiders, they never give up, do they? It was a cracking game, and again, for the second week in a row. I mean, the previous week against the Storm, I felt like Penrith dominated for long periods of the game and the Storm really weren't in it. Found a way to get the points, found a way to win at the end. And it was the same in that game. I thought Panthers had Canberra's measure a number of times during the contest. Canberra were really struggling to come up with points, but they stuck to it, stuck to their guns. The miracle at the end. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. And I've never seen anything like that.
I think it goes to show how important it is knowing the rules. Harry Grant got away with it last week, knowing the rules inside out. This week, Liam Martin, he just had to make the tackle on Jed Stewart. The ball once the ball bounces, it's play on, even if he jumps in the air. And obviously the boys are a little bit concerned, pulled out of it. And who would have thought they would pretty much go 90 metres to score. Ethan Strange, what a player this young kid is. He's unbelievable in KO weeks. Got speed for weeks, that bloke. He's unbelievable. So
the best view we got to see of that try was front on, because you could actually see all the work that Ethan Strange had to do to get out of the back end. Like, he is an unbelievable footballer. I mean, they both are. The couple of young guns are absolutely killing it at the Raiders, but he had a fair bit of work to do.
Well, we had Ricky Stewart on post-match a couple of weeks back, Cam, and he said this guy's going to play rep footy. He's going to be on the Kangaroo Tour later this year, and we're seeing why each and every week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think every week he displays the qualities of a future rep player. Whether he goes on the tour this year, I'm not too sure, because he's got some quality players in front of him at the moment playing in the similar positions, whether in the halves. But he can play pretty much anywhere in the back line. He's got great speed, he's got great explosive speed, good power. He's just a young man playing with a lot of confidence at the moment, and it's probably the way to describe their footy team at this stage of the season, where not many people really expected them to be where they are right now, but they've found a formula that really suits them at the moment, and to find a way to win that game the other night against Penrith, that was incredible.
There was another highlight about that Raiders win that I absolutely loved. Ruben the Raider. Now, any other parents this week would have been stitched up with Book Week. I was. But this is outstanding. Have a look at this.
Panthers team
in front of the Panthers.
Panthers players are there.
And the Raiders boys loved it so much they tracked him down and brought him into the sheds after the win as well. So outstanding. What a legend.
That was awesome. That was pretty cool.
How good is that?
Full Trojan horse mode getting in there. Just
That's the best.
Bang. Love it. On the back of that, he's been good enough to join us after what's been a dramatic couple of weeks for his team. Is Nathan Cleary joining us tonight on 100% Footy. Nath, great to have you here. Have you wrapped your head around what unfolded?
Still trying to, I think. I'm glad everyone else enjoyed it, because I didn't enjoy it too much. But, yeah, it was pretty unbelievable, especially like the last 2 weeks. Just the way it's finished is just, it's been disappointing for us. But we've also probably learned lessons out of it, and you'd definitely be rather learning lessons now than in the finals and having the whole off-season think about it. So, yeah, it was super disappointing, but, yeah, an amazing play by the Canberra boys.
Nath, I just want to give you a wrap first of all, mate. You show up for everything. No matter what happens in your career, no matter what goes on, you always turn up, mate. So well done. But I want to ask you a question about this week. There's some rumours the Panthers are going to rest some players. Any truth in that?
Firstly, thanks for that, Gal. Yeah, I won't be playing this week. I just had a chat to the performance staff and sort of thought it'd be the best thing for me. We find out the rest of the team tomorrow. We had a day off today, so we'll be back in the training tomorrow and find out the rest. But, yeah, I won't be playing this week.
Nath, no one's ever won it outside the top four. I'm not just saying this because you're on with us. I genuinely think the Panthers are a team that could do it. But what kind of confidence or what belief do you have that the Penrith Panthers could get the job done, given where you are on the ladder at the moment?
Yeah, I've always had belief in the squad we have. Coming off the back of last year, we lost a few guys, a few important guys, but I thought the way we trained throughout the pre-season was really good, and obviously the start of the year was awful, really. I think we'll last after round 12, but the way we've been able to fight back now to secure a spot in the finals, and once finals start, it's a clean slate, it's a new season. So, I think with our experience in the finals previously, and there's still a lot of experienced guys within our squad, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's an exciting prospect. Obviously, it's much different to what we've had in the previous years, but yeah, there's definitely still a lot of belief there.
Nath, Lana just spoke about teams haven't won outside the top four, but have you taken a lot of confidence out of the last two matches? Like, it's not like you've taken on duds at the competition. It's the Melbourne Storm, the Canberra Raiders, the two teams sitting first and second, and you took them to Golden Point, and you really had chances to win that game. Have you taken a lot out of the last two matches?
Yeah, for sure. I think even if you look back a couple of months ago versus the Bulldogs in a great game as well, we were lucky enough to win that one. The last 2 weeks we weren't lucky enough to win it. But yeah, pretty much against the top three sides, we've had some great battles. So you do take confidence out of that as much as it is disappointing and just little lapses in concentration and just errors are killing us at the moment. But as I said sort of just before, I think it's better at happening now and learning those lessons the hard way rather than happening in the finals. So yeah, I think we do take confidence out of that, but definitely know that we're going to have to be better come finals time.
Yeah, Nathan, I'll just continue on that vein because I was saying that in the previous 2 games against the Storm and the Raiders, who are the 2 top sides, you've actually dominated large periods of those games where it felt like you were really comfortable in defence and didn't look like scoring points, but they've managed to get you at the back end of the game. What was it like out there at the time? Did you feel really confident during the contest that you had their measure?
Well, I think that's been the most disappointing thing. I think we've had the game in our grasp. We've had 10-point leads, I think, in both of them. And yeah, just sort of let it slip. And it's been at times when we've sort of felt like we're in control, and that's probably a dangerous sort of feeling, I'd say, when you start feeling comfortable, particularly against the top teams and teams that sort of have the X factor like Canberra and Melbourne do. As soon as you start feeling comfortable, that's when they strike, and they've done that. I think sort of just lapses in concentration and a lot of errors, particularly in the second half of the last 2 games, which has really come to hurt us. But at the end of the day, we haven't been defending our line well enough in the most important high-pressure moments of the game. So, yeah, it's been frustrating, but, again, sort of learning lessons from it.
You kicked a lot of great goals and a lot of great field goals, and I always watch you when you kick the ball. I don't watch where the ball goes. I get a reaction straight away. When you drop-kicked that ball the other night, you held your breath. Was it that close all the way? Did it always look in, or did you sort of throw, that's going to hit the post?
No, it looked in and it was drawing, so I was just sort of leaning to the right, just hoping that it would sneak in.
Does that help?
And I reckon if I was a metre closer, no, it didn't help. I don't know why people do that. I don't know why I do that, but
like
I was just like, please. I reckon if I was a metre closer to Mitch, I reckon it would have gone over. Yeah. So
I tried that when I hit a golf shot.
I'm the same, but it's usually way out of the trees.
No, it's always great to catch up. Thanks for being such a good sport, and I know the Panthers fans will miss you later this week, but I dare say they'll be seeing plenty more of you this season. Thanks, mate.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Good on you, Nathan Cleary, joining us ahead of what's a massive game on the back of that loss to the Raiders. And Cam, the big news out of today, once overlooked, and in the end, the match review committee coming down with a charge on Stephen Crichton, the Doggies skipper, who they'll be playing against on Thursday night at a core stadium. A bizarre scenario, this one, where it seems that league officials have stepped in and told the match review committee to look at it again. Yeah,
it seems as though it slipped through to the keeper when it came to the match review committee, but there was a lot of talk about it, wasn't it, post this match? It's just unnecessary. It's really unnecessary, and if you get yourself into some bad habits, I'd hate to see Stephen Crichton, one of the best players in our game, come unstuck in a finals match and potentially miss a big game because of something like that.
Grade 1 contrary conduct charge in the end. It's a fine.
Fine to move on, but I think something had to be done to it. I agree with Smith. It was a little bit unnecessary. He doesn't have it in his game, Stephen Crichton, so to be a fine, it's not going to hurt him. Gus might even play it for him.
I like Gus's.
He's
changed his body
facing
angle.
Outwards. Don't make eye contact.
He's turned the back on you.
Gus, in this day and age, you can't condone that. You can't.
He's not
okay, no, then see where he ends up.
Doesn't need any late season drama around being top dog at the end. Your mate Harry Grant, the Melbourne Storm, 2 matches, shoulder charge ban. Won't be seeing him till finals time, Cameron.
No, big blow, but it's hard to fight that one. It's high and it's forceful. Look, I wouldn't say it's your traditional shoulder charge. Gal knows a bit more than me. He probably laid on a few more shoulder charges than I did. But a shoulder charge is tucking your arm, and for the most part of our footy career, we were allowed to do that, right? But in a way, I think it might be a blessing in disguise for Harry. He's had a big year. He played the entire Origin series, which is it's gruelling to get through that, and then coming into the back end of this year, like Like, he gets through a mountain of work every game. He's 40-plus tackles every week. He has high involvement with the football. Melbourne Storm can't drop out of the top 2. So I reckon this might be a blessing in disguise for him.
Craig Bellamy already said that he wanted to rest players. Surely he would have been one of the
Absolutely,
first to have a breather anyway.
I actually thought it was pretty harsh, to be honest. For me, that's not what they brought the shoulder charge rule in for.
That's extremely harsh.
I agree.
I'll tell you why.
The reason they brought the rule in was when players are rushing in as fast as they can and leading with their shoulder arm tucked. Yeah. He got a little bit wrong-footed there. Yeah. That's not a traditional shoulder charge.
All he did is brace
2 weeks.
himself. But think about what's happened there, all right? They've kicked off, they've gone downfield. Harry Hayes has caught the ball and he runs back and he looks at the Melbourne line and he says, who am I going to run at?
The smallest bloke.
I'm going to run at the smallest bloke.
Yeah.
All right, so he's picking Harry out. And why is he running at Harry? Because he's going to run over the top of him. And Harry just gets himself into a position where he braces himself for the collision, and I think it's really harsh and really unfair. Yeah. And so too have a number of our... Oh, look, don't start me on match
But
review.
even said that after he makes contact, he's actually trying to wrap his arm.
Absolutely.
He just doesn't get it out in time.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm with you, Gus. I think it was harsh.
In the end, it's a 2-week suspension for poor technique. It's not like he went in there with any malice or he was careless.
He should not be charged and should not be suspended. If you want to penalise them on the field just to keep their minds on the job and say, hey, watch out.
And 10 in the bin like he got?
No, you didn't need 10 in the bin. Why do we keep sending people off with 10 in the bin? We don't need that to remind the players of what they have to do. But that is not what the shoulder charge rule was brought in for.
No.
And a little bloke like that, tackling a man running back at him at 100 mile an hour, those blokes that run back from the kick-off, what do you think they're trying to do? The Spencer Lanyus and all these people...
Run over people.
They're trying to hurt people, all right? They're trying to hurt people.
I had to stare him down a few times in my career. 100%. It's the same thing to me.
100%. And you never want to take that out of the game.
Yeah.
You don't want to take that out of the game, do you?
No.
Do you want to take it out? You want to start the game with a play the ball?
No way.
We'll start the game with a scrum.
No.
One of them scrums.
Oh, don't with a scrum.
One of them scrums where the winger puts the ball back and yeah, one of them ones.
The modern-day scrum. Now, no Harry on Friday night for what will be a cracking game, Storm v Roosters in Melbourne, right here on 9. But one man that will be there in the coach's box, Craig Bellamy. Game number 600, Cameron.
Yeah, no, pretty impressive. And on top of the 600, his winning record, Brace, it's incredible. It's up around 70%. So, yeah, just... really happy for Craig and his family, his wife Wendy, his son Aaron as well, who's coaching alongside him, and his daughter Rachel. They've been a huge part of his career. But look, he has made a lot of young men good footballers and good people.
I forgot he used to look like that.
Yeah, with the glasses.
Yeah.
With the glasses, and he used to come down the sideline a lot too. When he was a bit madder.
Then he saw the cameras. He can't escape the cameras.
He can't.
Imagine if he was on the sideline now. Oh. Can you imagine?
Gus 2.0 would be sent.
Yeah. Bill Harrigan style.
That was mistaken identity. I told you that.
Mistaken identity. Stay with us.
I was wrongly accused.
Just moving up here on 100% Footy very soon. So much more to dissect, including milestone man Ben Hunt. He's going to open up at his journey to that 350th and reveals the regrets he has of leaving the Brisbane Broncos in the first place. The Hello Sport boys, yes, they're back for 100% dribble, giving us their take on the weird and oh so wonderful weekend of footy that we witnessed. But after the break, scuttlebutt, it's rife today. The Titans, they've let Desi go. We speak to their CEO, Steve Mitchell, and Brandon Smith, and the drama surrounding drug and betting alleged offences. Danny Weidler and Michael Chemis with all the latest. Stay with us.
Working along for Ferber, a bump and then lost it.
4-0 for the Titans there in 17th.
Des can coach. We know he can coach. He had great success at Manly. He knows what winning looks like. It's the playing group. And I don't know how they turn it around. They've never, ever looked like a threat.
There's been all of that chat about Des Hasler's future. He was asked in the media conference after the match if he is the right man to lead the club forward.
The players turn the club around. It's about turning up and playing well. We didn't do that. We missed that opportunity tonight.
I can understand coaches under pressure, particularly in this day and age. The pressure and scrutiny from media is enormous.
You're not answering the question, Des.
I'm not going to answer it.
It's an important issue at the club. You can't keep avoiding everything.
I'm not going to answer. We don't discuss retention on this platform.
Breaking news out of the Gold Coast Titans, just announcing they are parting ways with coach Des Hasler at the end of the season. The club says it's run out of patience.
Yes, huge news today. It has been something that has been lingering for the Gold Coast Titans on whether or not Des Hasler would remain as coach beyond season 2025. And that's a decision, as we saw, was made a little earlier today by Titans officials and announced at their press conference by Steve Mitchell, who joins us tonight on 100% Footy. Steve, thanks for your time tonight. Why today?
Hey, James, how are you? Thanks for having me. Yeah, big day today. I think with Des, we've been in contact with Des and his manager for most of the season. We wanted to give Des and the program every opportunity to rally, and come about. And we've been working through the middle part of the year where the competition was pretty close, and then through the second part of the year itself, and then over the last couple of weeks it became apparent that we weren't moving in the right direction, or we weren't moving, and we had a conversation with Des, and Des has been exceptional, to be honest. I mean, you can't question the man's work ethic. His history speaks to itself. His time in the game and his contribution in the game is enormous. And outside of living here, I don't think he could have worked any harder to actually make it work. But we've met, and the relationship's really amicable and strong. And he's going to coach the remaining 2 games out this weekend. We've got the Finns and then the Tigers at home the following week, and then we're going to part company, and Des is going to continue into his next chapter. And we're really excited to be able to announce that Josh Hannah will be joining us as our first grade coach from pre-season into 2026 for 3 years. And we're stoked to have Josh on board, and we know his relationship with a large chunk of our player group through Origin, and we want to make sure that we resource him accordingly in the football program and give him everything we can to actually bring that group to life. But first, we want to acknowledge Des's contribution to the game and to us particularly, and the work he's done around the club, and then make that and have as much dignity as we can around that process, and then announce Josh's appointment, which we're very, very excited about.
Steve, Danny Weidler, the coach is wearing all this. Do the administration and players have a lot to answer for as well?
Yeah, Danny, I think we need to, all of us need to be under review to some degree. There's obviously this can't all sit on the coach, and I said that earlier today, and that's everything from all aspects of our football program, high performance, our coaching staff, our recruitment processes, and the administration itself. It's we can't question Des's work ethic, that's for sure, and we aren't where we need to be, so we need to look at every part of the business, and we're doing so. We do, however, need to adjust, and we need to find what we believe is the best man available to actually take this forward. Josh is highly regarded. His relationship with a large chunk of our play group through his Origin commitments is filters back to the club consistently, and obviously his career to date through his time from South Logan as a coach through the Cows and then through Cronulla, it speaks for itself. And we're very excited to have him, but there's no doubt we're looking at the whole business.
Yeah, Steve, I'm just going through the list of coaches at the Gold Coast Titans over the years. John Cartwright, Neil Henry, Garth Brennan, Justin Holbrook, and now Des Hasler. I mean, they're all very good football men. They've all had success elsewhere, but it's always the coach that seems to be the fall guy in these situations. I know that a lot of that precedes your time there, but you're sort of getting the message that maybe it's not the coach that's the issue with the Gold Coast Titans?
Yeah, Gus, I think absolutely. It goes beyond the bloke who's just trying to steer that group around. Arguably, it does fall with that, with the coach, the responsibility largely. But there's parts of that are away from there, and that's how that coach is supported. The character of the player group that we bring in for him to coach, the pathways that lead into that, the administrative frameworks that sit beside him, coaching staff that sit beside him, then a high performance program that actually helps manage that group and keep them on the paddock throughout the year. So there's plenty of components there, and to your point, we haven't done a good job of that over the last decade, and we've had a series of coaches run through. So we need to look squarely and very pragmatically at that and say, what else do we need around Josh to make sure that he's a success and he can bring what he's brought in other systems to life here. Gold Coast is 700,000 people now. Our game day attendance is super strong. Commercial aspects of the local market make sense. Thriving local rugby league community, both genders, double-digit growth and male participation. And as we know, there's a lot of NRL clubs in our market because it's such a great nursery. We've got no excuses to not putting a winning, successful program on the paddock.
Steve, never an easy day for anyone involved. We really appreciate your time tonight.
Oh, pleasure, James.
Steve Mitchell, the Gold Coast Titans CEO, joining us. Is it the last we'll see of Des in the NRL, Denny?
Look, it's been a great career. but I think it's now in a position where it'd be difficult for him to get another position, at least as a head coach for a little while.
Lost to the game. Gussie's been loyal.
Nothing would surprise you. Nothing would surprise.
You think he might bob up somewhere?
Nothing shocks me in rugby league anymore. Nothing. Other than the fact this show keeps going. But nothing shocks me in rugby league.
I'm with you on that one. No doubt. Obviously, Josh Hannay, he's at the Sharks at the moment. What will he bring to the Titans?
He's going to do a great job. He's absolutely ready for a head coach. I've got no doubt about that. He's had a little bit of history, obviously, at the Cowboys earlier on. He's obviously been involved with the Sharks for a couple of years now. He's ready and he'll do a fantastic job. I do think it's the biggest job in rugby league. I look at players that go to that Titans team, they're there for an opportunity or they get paid overs to go there. I don't see a lot of players there for the right reasons, and I think it's a hell of a job. I think Josh Hannay is probably the next cab off the rank regardless. Probably could have got a job anywhere. So if I'm the Gold Coast Titans, I'm feeling very, very lucky that he's there. I hope he does a fantastic job. He's a terrific guy, but I think it's a really, really big job.
He was in the Queensland setup, Cameron.
Yeah, I spent a couple of years with Joshy as an assistant coach with the Maroons, and he was fantastic. Did a lot of the planning of the week for Billy and the rest of the team, and he switched on. He knows the game back to front. As Gal said, like out of all the sort of most recently retired players, he's done the greatest apprenticeship, I guess, of anyone as far as, you know, coaching at the Cowboys, coaching at the Sharks. Yep. He's ready to go. He's ready to go.
All right, we'll watch with interest to see how it goes for Josh Hannay.
He's going to have to be strong because when he walks into the foyer of that club, there's no trophies in the cupboard. All right, there's headstones from a lot of dead coaches that have been replaced. That's what he's walking into.
Yep.
Now, he's going to have to be very, very strong.
Let me tell you guys, he'll do a great job. I've got no doubt about it. But I'm with you.
It's more than the football.
I agree. I think it's the biggest job in rugby league. I think it's harder than taking over the Tigers.
Yeah. Well, I live on the Gold Coast, and he's going to have to make his mark first and foremost with the playing group, and then with the community. Because if you look at the games played at Seabus Stadium at the Titans' home ground, sometimes they're lacking a few numbers.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the weekend...
Putting it politely, like on the weekend...
there's more Warriors.
There's more Warriors.
Winning fixes all that.
That's
losing is bad for business.
No, that's what I mean.
Nick Politer said that to me. He said, baby, losing is bad for business, bad for business.
Any business.
Very wise words in this competition. Now, the other big issue of the day off the field is, of course, Brandon Smith, South Sydney Rabbitohs superstar that's come to the club this year. Queensland Police revealing a statement earlier today with alleged drug supply offences and inside knowledge betting offences. Michael Chemis joins us from the Nine newsroom tonight for more on that. Chemi, evening to you. Let's start on the drug supply side of things here. What details do you know tonight?
Yeah, James, a pretty major development in this situation. The issue is back to June 7 when Brandon Smith was still contracted at the Sydney Roosters. Now, the police were investigating a person of interest in regards to drug supply, and Brandon Smith's name came up in their phone. They also found that Brandon Smith was allegedly trying to buy illicit drugs for Roosters teammates while they were in the Sunshine Coast on June 7 during the bye round. Now, it's my understanding there were at least 7 players on a golf trip that weekend in the Sunshine Coast, and there is one player named in those allegations that will be presented to court on September 18. So it could have wide-ranging ramifications for Brandon Smith, for the NRL and the Roosters following those after that bench warrant was issued to Brandon Smith today.
All right, so that's the drug side of things. What about the alleged betting offences?
Yeah, those offences are in relation to Brandon Smith's first game back in the NRL with the South Sydney Rabbitohs this year. The allegations that he provided an alleged target or the drug dealer in question with information in regards to the team lineup in relation to his involvement in the team and his Latrell Mitchell's potential involvement with South Sydney that weekend, when then the allegations are that was used to provide information and betting for the person that he provided that information for. So a couple of interesting elements to this. It's my understanding that Brandon Smith will still play this weekend and he will plead not guilty to these charges. But it's interesting, that development tonight with the Sydney Roosters. We know what Nick Politer said earlier in the year in regards to a zero tolerance going forward with his club in relation to drug use. So I want to stress these are allegations at the moment, but the Sydney Roosters have been implicated in this for an incident that occurred on June 7 while during a bye weekend.
All right, Michael, thanks for those huge details from the newsroom tonight. Danny, if anyone reads your Sunday Sun Herald column, they'll know that you followed Brandon Smith's career quite closely, particularly the complications that he's had along his journey off the field as well. Does this come as a surprise to you tonight?
Look, some of that does. I have to say that those are pretty staggering details, some of those things, and they're going to have potential implications for clubs in the game. Unfortunately, I've been viewed as being quite hard on Brandon Smith and his career. I spoke to South today, and they said that they want to make it very clear that he did not bet on a match. There are no allegations of cheating, to their understanding, or any sort of corruption. So I want to state that that's South Sydney's point of view, and they're not standing him down, as Michael said. But unfortunately for Brandon Smith, there are some bigger off-field issues. Central to those are gambling. The Roosters tried very hard to right him in that area. They appointed a mentor for him, a guy called Rogan Yates. Unfortunately, I don't know whether that has worked fully to help Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith, and this is quite a sort of, it's a hard thing to say, but he owed teammates thousands of dollars. He borrowed off teammates and owed them thousands of dollars, which the Roosters made sure that he repaid to those teammates. And that caused issues within the club. I spoke to one of the players today, a friend of Brandon Smith's, who was owed that money, and he was paid back. He's not a Roosters player, but the Roosters insisted that player was paid back. So these sort of things have been going on in Brandon Smith's life, and people in the media know about it, but I think a lot of people have just been laying off because Brandon Smith, in essence, is someone who's a very popular figure in the game and well-liked. When these sort of allegations, and they are allegations, surface, I think the public deserve to know some of the things that have been going on in the background.
One thing he is known for has been a larrikin, light-hearted, and Kevin, obviously you played with him throughout your career as well, and I think a lot of this information is going to shock a lot of people out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Spent a few years with Brandon Smith when he first joined the Melbourne Storm. He was a much younger player then, much younger person at the time. Look, I was aware of Brandon having the odd pun on horse races and whatnot, as a lot of us do, but nothing to the depths of what we're hearing at the moment. He seemed as though he had his life in order at the time that I spent alongside him at the Melbourne Storm. So, yeah, it's pretty unfortunate to see, he's still a young man, sort of come unstuck the way he has.
Do you expect there to be any pushback, Danny, about him playing this weekend with this new information that's come to light?
Well, I spoke to Souths late today, or text messages with Souths, and they were adamant that he was going to play. Yep. What Michael has said tonight must have a bearing of some degree, but they are allegations, unproven, they've got to be tested. So we've got to allow Brandon his day to have his side of things and express what happened in his from his point of view.
How frustrated do you think the Roosters hierarchy will be on the back of this?
Oh, very, because that doesn't read well or doesn't sound good for the Roosters from what Michael was saying there, the allegations. And the Roosters were mightily unhappy with Brandon Smith in his time there. And I've got nothing personal against Brandon Smith. I've got no reason to say this. I'm just relaying to you how the Roosters felt. And they couldn't have got him out of that club quickly enough. And now we're understanding maybe why.
Yep. All right. A bit more to come on this, I dare say, over the rest of the week. Stay with us. You're watching 100% Footy. We're going to salute some of our champions of the game. Wasn't this a nice moment in Newcastle? DCE, Ben Hunt, 350th games at the same weekend and got to celebrate together. We go one-on-one with one of those Queenslanders in just a moment.
So, from right to left, the Cowboys. Hunter's knocked on.
The thing that hurts the most is that you've given up the grand final pretty much. On that one play, if you lost it for your teammates, you've lost it for the Broncos fans, you lost it for your families. That's what hurts the most.
Oh, Ben Hunter's sunken with disappointment.
I definitely think it's something that happened in my career that's made me who I am today, made me the person I am and made me the player I am.
He hits it, he's got it! He's got the field goal! He's got the premiership!
I went through some pretty dark times after that, mate. There was some periods where I thought I was through it, and it always just found a way to creep back in and sort of drag you down. And my wife was, the most influential and get me through some tough times there. And it's something that I'm pretty proud of, that I've been able to come out the other side of that and sort of push all those demons away and move on with my life.
One massive moment in your career, the decision to move away from Brisbane. Everyone talking about this massive $6 million deal for you to go to be the face of the Dragons. How do you reflect on that decision?
I still think it's a decision I'd make today. As a kid, playing in my early Broncos years, I never wanted to leave the club, but there's offers like that don't really come along very often, and there's an opportunity to, I think, do what's right for my family and really kick us along. And we had a great life down there. Obviously, we'd probably would rather get some better results on the field, but as a whole, I don't regret it at all. I enjoy my time down there.
When did it turn, Benny?
I don't know what to put it down to be honest. It just, when you start getting it from everywhere and constantly, you really start looking at yourself and thinking that it is all you, the whole problem's you, and you start trying to take the blame for everything, and it gets tough. But I guess I stopped enjoying the game of rugby league, which is the only reason I really started playing. I just love playing footy, and there was definitely times after losses where you'd just get home and you'd sit down and you just couldn't get out of your own head. And there was days I woke up and said to my wife, like, I think I've had enough. I felt like I wanted to give up the game completely. It wasn't I wanted to give up on Dragons, it was just I wanted to get out of it completely at stages. But yeah, it just probably gone on for too long, and I think the time was up.
Purely football perspective, there are days there you just wish I shouldn't have left the Broncos.
Yeah, there was definitely times that, I wish I hadn't left.
Did you feel let down by the club?
Oh, look, there was different times where I'd felt let down, yeah, for sure.
And when the opportunity came up to come back to Brisbane, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, a lot. There was definitely some opportunities to go to different clubs, but once Broncos put up their hand, it was pretty obvious to me that that's where I wanted to be. It's where I wanted to finish my career. I kind of feel like I need to give back a bit to the Broncos, and I'm just grateful that they reached out, really. I love this club, and pinching myself that I'm actually back here now, and I'm very grateful for that. It's an amazing club. They, have got everything for you, everything you need here, and their coaching staff are amazing. There's a really good group of blokes here, and they want to win, and I'm really enjoying being a part of it.
What about that ring on your finger as well? You still chasing that?
Definitely, mate. Definitely. It's the biggest driving force I got in this back end of my career, and all plans are to bring one back to Brisbane.
You tell me, can you get to 400 or what?
Oh, well, I have to stay pretty healthy for a while, but we'll see how we go, mate.
Yeah, appreciate your time. Thanks.
No worries. Thank you.
It's a very candid Ben Hunt there with Michael Chemis. Game number 350 at the weekend, and he's still got it. And Cameron, a man that you know oh too well. It's hard to find anyone that played with him, anyone that's worked with him, that's got a bad word to say about him.
No, he's a wonderful fella, and for him to celebrate 350 games, what an achievement it was for him and the rest of his family. And I thought it was lovely that he got to do it at the club where he started his career, Brace. He spent some time away from the Broncos, but if you think back to way back to 2009 when he made his debut, played in some really big matches for the Broncos, and to go back and celebrate 350. After Daly Cherry Evans, he's the 6th player in the history of our game to celebrate 350 matches. What an achievement it was. You throw in some Test matches, some Origins. He has a fair highlight reel, doesn't he?
That red V, that jersey, it seems to be not a regret, but I don't think it's clear that he never wanted to leave the Broncos alone.
Yeah, but also I think it showed his class, because at no point when he was playing for the Dragons did he not give 100%.
Yeah.
He was still as influential playing for them. So, sure, he might not have necessarily, or he would have preferred to be at the Broncos, but with his football on the field and the way that he conducted himself, led the side, I mean, he's shown his versatility in the way he plays footy too, but he's the ultimate professional.
Kind of player you would have liked to have coached, Gus?
Yeah, I think anyone would love to coach a player like Ben Hunt. He gives 100% of himself all the time. He's had longevity. He's been a wonderful contributor to the game. And again, it's a lesson. I think if young fellas hear that, particularly the really good, talented players, sometimes there's disagreements or there's frustrations or whatever in your career, and you think maybe a move will do you good, but I think he clearly regrets the move to the Dragons, and he clearly regrets not playing his whole career with the Broncos. It's nice he's back there now. Grass isn't always greener on the other side. You can't play this game for money.
Hang on.
You got to, you can't play it because someone else wants you to play it. It's too hard.
And this weekend, he gets the derby too. Broncos-Cowboys, always a great affair. This is Saturday night footy on 9 from 7 p.m. Alana, your host, taking you through all the action. Always a goodie when these two go head-to-head. A great rivalry forged, of course, particularly throughout those days of JT kicking field goals and that 2015 grand final, which we just saw Ben delve into as well. Gal, this all happens on the same weekend that Ben Hunt's good mate, Daly Cherry Evans, as we heard and as we saw, gets game 350, does it in style as well with the Manly Seagulls. I love that he jumped on the freeway too to go up and see him the next day and watch Ben perform.
Well, not only that, these guys debuted in the under-20s competition a day apart also. So that's absolutely crazy to think all these years later they're playing 350 games a day apart. DC has been such a good player for such a long time at all levels of the game. Captain Queensland obviously played for Australia. I still remember DC 2011 tour. They just won the grand final, and he was picked as a young bloke with the tour over in England.
Yep.
We're playing Ireland, I think it was, or someone, and we're giving her absolute hammering. He runs back after kicking the goal from in front. He goes, "Hey, Gow." I said, "What's up, mate?" He goes, "Just like playing Cronulla." I said, "Really?" You know, we went out that night.
What goes away stays away, mate.
But I've always had a good relationship with him. He's a terrific young fella, and wish him all the best in the future.
I was going to say, I remember another interaction between you, Mr. It was at a London nightclub. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there, Gus. Look at Gus. Gus's mind's racing at the moment. Thinking, what happened?
When you say you got him back, I don't think there's any coming back from that. Whatever he did would be insufficient.
He knows there's no coming back from it either.
I want to hunt down the CCTV.
He got burnt.
Well done, Ben Hunt. Well done, DCE, on epic careers. You're watching 100% Footy. More to come in just a moment. Yes, the Hello Sport boys are back for their take on what's unfolded in the last week. Stay with us. Well, welcome back. They debuted in style with their take on the current happenings in the world of rugby league. And the Channel 9 lawyers, they've given them the green light for another week here on 100% Footy. So now it's over to the two Hello Sport boys for their take on the week that was.
You are listening to 100% Dribble with Hello Sport. All right, welcome back to 100% Dribble with Hello Sport. My name is Tom, and this is Sebo filling in for me offside already, who's still in Europe, if you'll believe it. Now, let's start off with the biggest moment from the weekend, which has to be the miracle in Mudgee. The Raiders snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, going the length of the field to score the try. Momentous occasion.
Whilst it was possibly the best finish we've had in years, as soon as the try was scored, I wanted to see what Ricky was doing. What's his reaction?
We need a Ricky cam in NRL. It's not like it hasn't been done before. We need to be able to ride the highs and the lows. Ricky putting his fist through a drywall, him kicking a chair, pulling a hammy.
He is the most emotional man in the game, wears it on his sleeve, and that's television.
I tell you what, there's no worse way to celebrate a milestone than breaking your nose, but that's exactly what Daly Cherry Evans did. Late in the game, didn't even need to be on the field technically. Manly had it in the bag. He goes to make a try-saving tackle or an attempt and breaks his nose, smashes it on the back of Felice Kafusi's head. Compound break, splitting through the skin. It was bleeding. It was absolutely disgusting. I don't want you to see it, but you got to watch it. As you see here, compound fracture to the nose. Oh, blood coming out. Oh my God.
Dude, no, get it off. Get it off.
While we are on Daly Cherry Evans, though, there has been reports of what his rumoured Roosters contract is going to be, Sebo. We're talking $500,000 a year and a car. I think it's a Rolls-Royce Phantom, I heard.
How much does a Rolls-Royce Phantom go for?
About $1 million, I reckon. Now, the worst-kept secret in rugby league history has come to fruition today. Des Hasler and the Titans are going their separate ways. Obviously, not been a great 48 hours for Des. Got into a stink with a journo.
You're not answering the question, Des.
I'm not going to answer it.
It's an important issue at the club. You can't keep avoiding everything.
I'm not going to answer. We don't discuss retention on this platform.
Yeah, but that's just a cop-out.
No, it's not.
It is a cop-out.
No, it's not.
Now, this news today, they're parting ways. And, I mean, the body was still warm, and the Titans announced that they've got a new coach on board, Josh Hannay, 3 years.
Feels a lot like a breakup where the missus says we both need time for ourselves. Maybe we will relink once we discover ourselves.
Keeping hope alive.
But now it seems like the missus has just uploaded the picture of the new boyfriend on Instagram. He's got a six-pack. He looks great.
Younger, hotter, sexier. Tough for Des.
Few people breathing a big sigh of relief, though, from the news. Your Paytons, your O'Briens, your Seabolds.
Oh, yeah.
No more Coach Bachelor is happening, so they can just chill for a second.
You can relax now, boys. All right, now before we go, just want to leave you with Lockie Elias on TikTok. Enjoy. See you next week.
Dollar girl, pick up this. Cowboy girl, you need a real off top, back is hurting shit. Bend over, show me what you're working with. Shake your ass, but watch yourself. Shake your ass, show me what you're working with. Shake your ass, but watch yourself. Shake your ass.
What is going on there?
What time of the day do you reckon that was?
Well, I saw that today on social media. And
Look at Gus.
What the hell are you doing, young man? What'd you make of that, Gus?
It's a funny game, rugby.
Is it ever? Especially when fun's involved.
Funny people.
Yikes.
Well,
there you go, Lockie. Well done.
What's TikTok? What's that?
I don't even have TikTok, so don't look at me.
Don't ask.
Alana, I
I'm
think
telling
that's
you.
And she's big on social media.
I'm telling you, I don't have
but-
TikTok. I promise you. It's too much.
Anyway, don't we get spied on through TikTok? Isn't that what they're doing these days? Anyway, let's get back into the footy. Great stuff from the Hello Sport boys. I reckon they'll be back next week after Lawyers tick it off again.
Gus wants them back.
Dizzy his nose. I felt that. Sunday.
Nothing worse.
Yeah, how many times do you knock
8 times I broke my nose.
8?
8.
Gal?
8.
I'd never broke
that's
it,
right.
like, properly
Are you
broke it.
sure?
Yeah, I
maybe
got
telling you
bumped a lot of
that. I think
times.
Are you
I
100%
never actually
sure?
snapped it.
The worst one was on the back of Chicka Ferguson's head. He used to burrow down. He got me right on the nose. And when I got up, it was over here.
Yes, I've had one of those.
It was over here.
Shockers.
And the bloke come on, he just pushed it back into place.
Yeah.
And I ran over and packed in the scrum, put my head down. The blood just rushed out. It's a lovely game, rugby league.
Oh, is it ever?
Brilliant. Those are the days.
They were the tough old days, Gus.
If I could be 24 again for an hour, I'd play rugby league.
Would you play it like
I'd spend the whole hour playing rugby league.
Yep. At Leica, like we saw yesterday, in front of a big crowd.
I just wasn't very good at it. That was a disappointing part.
Tiger Cowboy yesterday, Gus. 20 years since that grand final, the Benji Marshall flick pass.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the chances that we see something almost mirror image as they play the same team 2 decades on and score a try from it?
Yeah, well, our game is full of romance. It's full of history and it's full of romance, and history seems to repeat a lot. We saw things on the weekend I'd never seen before. This was just absolutely brilliant from one end of the field to the other, in front of a packed home stadium. And the football that they put on these fellas, the commentary from our own man.
Yeah, Speedy.
He
picked the 05 moment
He nearly
straight away.
passed out, the blood rushed from his head because he's saying, blah, blah.
It wasn't even just the minute. It wasn't just the try. It was the minute. He said it was within minutes of the same time that he knew that.
Yeah, at the same time in
He's
the game.
unbelievable, Brendan Speed.
And they led by 12 points, 16 points got beat.
Yep.
I think it was 28-16, was it? And they looked on fire. They weren't truly on top.
They're going to win by 40.
Easily. There was a moment. They got a... They put a captain's challenge up, and I actually thought there was enough evidence that it should have gone their way. It didn't go their way, and then from there it was downhill.
Has the crowd gone quieter quicker than these 3 tries in 6 minutes?
Didn't they just go quiet straight away?
Well, there couldn't have been a Cowboy fan in the place. There wasn't even a murmur.
Only Jonathan.
Points.
Yeah, well, JT, it was a lone soldier.
JT was the only one.
We'll
but
get to him shortly.
I mean, the crowd, the hill looked absolutely outstanding. The amount of Tigers fans there was awesome. They were going for 3 in a row. They haven't done for many, many years. And they looked really, really good. They looked on fire, and then 5 minutes come by and they were just gone.
Crickets.
He's freakish young Drinkwater, isn't he? Like the highlights he'll put you in a game. Whether they win or lose, he's always got highlights.
And right at the desk too, we're going to make it our Cash Converters conversions of the week. The Poisey Show too, Gus, with back-to-back-to-back conversions with the heckling from the sideline.
All from the sideline. Yeah, all from the sideline.
Well, was the bloke there, the Thurston bloke, was he around that day?
Was he
there? There were
Was
plenty of them in the crowd.
Plenty of impersonators.
Yes, there were plenty of impersonators. JT was loving it.
Where's your Queensland spirit there, you It only happens 3 times a year, Thurston.
Well, I'll tell you who did a fair job. Yep. Cameron Smith. Cameron Smith was there doing a fair job giving it to Thurston. He was on the sideline giving it to Thurston as well. I know it's one thing, though, as you said, Brace. So here we go.
How have you offended these people? What have you done to them?
I honestly don't know.
Where's your spirit, Thurston?
There's another one.
Where's your spirit, Thurston?
I know
Where's your spirit? JT, where's your spirit?
You're red hot. You're red hot. And Brace, you want a stat? This stat may or may not be true. That's the first time the Cowboys have played there without Jonathan Thurston. They finally get a win. You should have just left him out the side every single time they played there. You would have won more games.
I get a feeling you might have created a stat just to sledge you, mate, but I like it.
Possibly.
I like it. I noticed he had the Queensland shirt on too, Kevin, there in the crowd.
He never said, did you say Queensland? He never said Queensland.
Where's
there you
your
go.
spirit first? And love it. Good stuff at Leichhardt yesterday. Now, Gus, you called this match on Saturday night, Eel Rooster.
Yes.
And this is the highlights reel of this weekend. From all the games, you could just watch back to back and never get old.
This magical match. Well, this bloke's a freak. This bloke's a freak. I've never seen some of the things that he's done. Absolute freak. But all the tries had just a little bit of magic about them. Like, this is just brilliant stuff. And Parramatta, I mean, the Roosters' big win last week. They come out to Parramatta and these young kids, they just absolutely towel them up.
That's clinical.
That's brilliant.
You know where he's getting so much better? At the start of the year, he was always doing things like this, but he was making so many basic fundamental errors. He's getting that part right. He's not making as many these days. And
just replay that for a try.
Yeah.
Just replay that for a try. That's ridiculous. Like Lomax goes up again and catches the ball as he's falling down, throws it to no one. He picks it up to someone who throws it to no one. Who picks it up to someone who kicks it to nowhere. It picks it up to someone who then comes off his shin and goes to nowhere. He kicks it, it goes nowhere. He kicks it, it's going out the back. He kicks it, it's going nowhere. And a bloke dives on it.
That was one of my favourite moments of you in commentary right throughout this whole year of you calling that try. It was the best.
My best commentary ended up being a no try. They took it off him.
That's always the worst.
Right on half-time, they had a scrum with 10 seconds to go, and they said, what would you do here? I said, put it in the air. You never know your luck in a big city. Good point. And of course, they went and scored. They scored off the kick. Then it took them 5 minutes to go to the bunker and disallow it.
It's not right there.
For Snicko. They did it. Apparently they got a Snicko.
Quick one on the Roosters. Are they going to play finals footy? They're in the 8, but they're nervous now after that loss.
Oh, they should be nervous too. And no Sam Walker is honestly massive. Like, we saw him go off so early on in the game and what it did to them. Sure, they've got Sandon Smith coming into play when they go against Melbourne, but I tell you what, they won't want to leave it up to playing South Sydney.
That's what I reckon the storyline.
Imagine if they play South Sydney and Alex Johnson gets his tries.
How poor South Sydney have been all season, how bad they're going. And I reckon that last game's going to decide whether the Roosters make the 8 or not. What a game it's going to be.
I hope
You'll see it right here on Nine's Wide World
Exactly
Sports
right.
As well. Stay with us. 100% Footy is what you're watching. After the break, Kennedy Cherrington, yes, the Energizer Bunny swinging by to talk NRLW in our Tab Top 3. We're back right after this. Welcome back, Alana. Another big weekend of NRLW coming your way.
Plenty of footy, isn't there, Bray? 6 games over the weekend. Looking forward to it. There's a couple of crackers, actually. I think that last game will be interesting. The Cowboys and the Roosters on Saturday, and the first one on Sunday, the Sharks and the Knights. A couple of very close contests just to see where they're all at in the competition, but we're spoilt for choice.
Sure are. Stacks of NRLW action. You see every game right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports, and this lady's been featuring quite heavily. Kennedy Cherrington back tonight. Hi.
Doing something right. You're asking me back, so grateful to be here.
How's the lip, mate?
Oh, it's a bit split. One of the producers said I look like Gal after a sparring session.
Don't listen.
Leave her alone.
It's a split lip, guys.
Jeez.
It's footy.
It's footy.
So you could be split in 17 places and still look 12 times better than Gal. Don't you worry, Kennedy.
So
You're laughing. You're laughing.
So it's definitely not a woogie.
No.
When it happened, did you think about your appearance on the show?
No, I definitely did. It got split. I felt, the warm blood, and then we finished 10 minutes later. I was like, look, I ought to be on TV.
Ain't nothing hiding that. We'll get into some key things surrounding the NRLW, but our Tab Top 3 are always going to feature some big issues around the game, and that includes the legend that is Ali Brigginshaw over the weekend too. What a great career it has been.
Look, I'm glad that she's put this kind of to rest. I know it's been weighing on her heavily, and given so much hate and the comments from the fans commenting about her age, I'm glad that she can actually say that she's retiring, and I know she'll be looking to finish on a high with her rep duties, especially World Cup year next year, and she can kind of get out of the way and focus on her footy. Yeah,
and she gets to go out on her own terms, which she well and truly deserves to do. She's been such a pioneer in this game. She's been involved in that transition where the game really went to another level, been a big part of that. So congratulations to Ali. I'm glad we still get to watch her for another 12 months or so.
Number 2 this week, you got to take on the Chookies
Yeah.
over the weekend. How did that go?
Oh, tough. I don't want to speak about the second half, but I thought we did well. We analysed them quite heavily. 12 all for half-time, but given that they're so experienced, it just came down to my inexperience with our team. But we keep pushing, and, you know, the last 3 are very doable and hoping to push for the top 6.
We saw Jessie Southwell there as well. The big news surrounding her at the moment has been, it's been a hot debate.
Talk of the town, gosh.
Andrew Johns fuming about the fact that he's worried that we're going to stack these top teams and there's going to be too big a gap between them and the rest. You agree?
I do agree in some sense. Like, it's ultimately up for Jessie. It's her decision, and it's not her to you know, weigh in on these conversations. But I do think that the women's game is such a detrimental growth period that we need to watch out for these type of, not signings, but just look at potential draft pathways, better roster rules and harder salary cap policies like the men's game have, because we don't want a comp that is ultimately 3 teams. And that's just not coming from me personally, because I sit out, I'm not a part of those 3 teams. But for the growth and from a fan and player myself, I do think we need to step in harder and grow the game as a whole. I'd hate to see a comp that is just 3-team heavy focus.
If it happens, you can't put the blame on Jessie Southwell.
No,
this has nothing to... This shouldn't go on Jessie Southwell. I agree. I hope she doesn't go to Brisbane, because already you can see the competition, the Roosters and the Broncos far ahead, and there's a fair few underneath sort of swinging to make that top 6. I think the Knights are giving a really good nudge. The Cowboys are going good at the moment too, but they're a class above at the moment. When Ali Brigginshaw leaves, they potentially have someone like Jessie Southwell coming in. That's great for the Broncos, but what does that do for the Newcastle Knights and the other clubs that really want to be in this competition and push? Like, we need, particularly in that halfback role, there's so many girls up there in Brizzy playing footy that you've still got Ali Brigginshaw for another 12 months. Bring the younger girls in.
Yep.
Make sure they soak it all up and learn off Ali Brigginshaw, and hopefully we can keep Jessie Southwell in New South Wales at the Newcastle Knights would be ideal to continue growing rugby league and women's rugby league in that area.
Gus?
Yeah, I wouldn't be using the men's game, Kennedy, as an example of how to look after player movement and rosters and all that sort of stuff.
I meant just from a different perspective. No,
let's try some new things. We've got exactly the same issues, but these issues should not be troubling the women's game.
Exactly, I agree.
Because, as you say, it's in a very important growth period, and if they still want to keep expanding teams, they can't be doing this. You can't be taking girls like that away from teams like Newcastle to play with the Broncos. They don't need them. No.
And you can never out-compete with a club that's higher budgeted. Like, you can't compete.
Oh, welcome to our world, darling.
I'm here.
Welcome to our world. We've been doing this for a long time.
It's just these issues are coming so early. I'm just like, how? But that's rugby league, isn't it?
Now to continue with our tab top 3, which feels more like a tab top 6 tonight. The Raiders upsetting the Doggies.
Oh, Gussie, sorry.
Should we go there? You've already poked the bag.
I was really happy for the Raiders. You know, they had a really tough season, beginning of the season. First 3 games, 20, 30, 40 points on top of them. So I was happy for them in that sense. But given the Dogs have lost Ash Quinlan, a detrimental part of their team, they're number 6. Yeah, sorry, Gus. I was happy for the Raiders. Thoughts?
What did the Doggies learn, Gus?
What did the Doggies learn? The Raiders can run. They were too good. Bulldogs girls started off the season well, few injuries and a few changes, and it's getting a little bit hard for them at the moment. It doesn't get any easier this week. They're off to Brisbane to play against the Broncos, so they'll have to get themselves in order.
Gussie, we see you in the sheds again. You're in the men's sheds talking to Critter. You're in there supporting the girls as well.
I live in the sheds. They're just
Picking any eskies?
Yeah, I actually live there, so you know, that's why I'm in the dressing room. No, I'm just here to support the girls before the game and after the game, and make sure the club's there to support them.
I will say, right from the get-go and before the NRLW competition even kicked off, just speaking to a lot of the girls in the Bulldogs before their coach was appointed. It's a club. Yep. It's a group of players that have genuinely felt respected at a footy club. Gus
was running training sessions, I heard.
Probably won't want to claim too much, but they've done great things at the Bulldogs. Let's just remember that it is their first year in the competition, but yeah, they're doing great things at the Bulldogs.
I was never sacked as a coach until I coached the girls for 2 weeks.
They flicked you.
They sacked me after 2 weeks.
No, I heard some good things from Taylor Preston, said that you were down there running some clinics and some training sessions. They were very, very grateful for you, Gussie.
You can't stop the top dog. And number 1 for our tab top 3 this week, Jada Taylor.
Yeah, it's good to see Jada back. She had a rough season. It was actually against us that she did her ACL. I've seen it happen right in front of me. But it's always good to see players back from really major, injuries like an ACL. And, it's going to take her a few games to find her flow, but we've seen it in drips and drabs, and just really happy for her and wish her all the best for the season.
Nah, she's a legend, Jada Taylor. She lights the screen up when she's talking with a big smile on her face, certainly playing footy as well. They've got a few spine players, actually, the Sharks, so a great problem to have that they've got all those strike weapons. It'll be interesting to see what they do, but yeah, just great to see Jada back playing some footy.
That was a cracking game. The Warriors and the Sharks was a cracking game. Terrific.
Finals fast approaching. Want to hang around for our tips for the men?
Of course,
after the break?
of course.
Why not? You're watching 100% Footy. Kennedy Cherrington in the house. We're back right after this to look ahead to round 26 of 27, believe it or not. All right, welcome back. Time for some tips, Gal. What do you got for our 9 games this weekend?
I'm going to go the Dogs, the Storm, the Broncos and the Dolphins.
All right, Kennedy.
I'm going to go the Dogs, the Storm, Cowboys and Titans.
Yep.
Titans?
Yeah.
You're back in the Titans?
Yeah. Get it, girl. I got the Doggies, the Storm. I think Bellyache 600 will get them across the line. Bronx and the Dolphins.
Top dog?
Yeah, I think, well, I don't know about Rooster. Storm can win. I think Cowboy can win. And I think Dolphin can win.
Okay. Fins up.
Fins up.
Titans win. I want to see this preview.
We'll clip it up.
We're very good at that. Thank you, Gal. Kennedy, as always.
See ya.
A treat. Go you, Fergo. Nice to have you. Thank you, Gus.
Thank you, James.
Good luck, V Panther. Bye-bye.
Look after your ladder.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.